Unregular Radio.
And we are back again for another edition of Performer Radio. Every week, as we have always been here at 9 p.m. on UnregularRadio.com on the Meow Channel. Of course, you're listening to us, so you know we're on the Meow Channel right now. But for those that hear the broadcast later on, the repeat, we are on the Meow Channel every week live at 9 p.m. on UnregularRadio.com. Tony, welcome again.
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
You were a little under the weather this week, weren't you?
Yes, I was. I sounded like Barry White this morning.
Well, yeah, that would have been kind of cool, man.
Yeah.
Should have kept that cold going for a few minutes longer. And we have our co-host Lamont Price back with us again this week.
What's up, man? I sound like Barry White all the time.
Yes, he does. And the women be knowing that.
The women be knowing that.
That's
Do
right.
they be doing?
See, Lamont's influence,
And,
Lamont's positive influence that we talked about.
Mike's grammar teacher's missing in action. The women be knowing that. It's always going to be 1974 in the booth.
Yeah, didn't you really? I actually shed a tear when Barry passed away.
Absolutely.
He was amazing.
That was the man right there. I mean, him and Luther really defined the 80s music, soul music.
The emotion.
The emotional music, yeah, that the women just...
And they were the last brothers that could wear their chest hairs out with the button down to the navel and get girls. You can't do that
Don't
anymore.
forget the gold chain. Don't forget the gold chain.
I'm going to go one step further. Don't forget that they were slightly heavy dudes, too.
That's right.
You know, I mean, Luther went back and forth, but Barry was just always, he was the man.
But there's all kinds of undisclosed
he had the heft all the time.
Random fact, Luther loved cheeseburgers.
Get out of here.
I believe that. Sure. That's not a stretch, really, when you think about it. That's not a stretch at all.
Cheeseburgers. Google it.
The interesting thing is, in the music business, you can look like one hell of a waste product and still get the women because they love the music. They connect with it emotionally.
I think attraction is different. That's another show, but I think attraction is different.
Is that another one for the uncensored?
I don't know if we have to, if it needs to be uncensored, but I think that's a discussion.
Yeah, well, I mean, the music business or the entertainment business, I mean, usually when you're talking about actors and, of course, models and stuff like that, you have to have a certain aesthetic appeal. Okay?
But you have to have that appeal. But, I mean, as far as physical attraction, that's a man thing. It seems like we're usually we're more aggressive with the physical attraction. And women seem like you can...
True, to a certain degree, but I don't come on. You mentioned certain actors today to women and they just melt.
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
because those actors made them feel something.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
I don't care how much money Oprah Winfrey has. I don't care how cool she is. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I don't care how dope you
Wait, hold on.
I don't care about Oprah's swag.
So she's knocking on the door. You ain't answering.
No, I mean, answer it. You know, she'll buy the groceries, but you know.
Okay, well, we're talking about the music business. These guys put out CDs. Women buy them by the truckloads. Now you've got a CD coming out.
Coming out is strong right now. I am preparing material for a comedy CD that I want to record maybe by late winter, early spring.
Okay, that's
I'm looking forward, and I'm working material now. It's starting to come together. I'm really excited about it.
What's your plans? What are you going to call it?
The name of this CD will be called, and bear with me, it's going to be called Bitches and Video Games. Now, I understand where this comes from. It comes from my severe immaturity. You understand what I'm saying? It's not so much like the cover. Here's the cover. This will tell you what I'm talking about. The cover is going to be a 12-year-old me playing video games, and in the background, like a 12-year-old girl angry that I'm not paying attention to it.
I like that.
And then the inside flap of the back cover is going to be an adult me playing video games, and an adult woman behind me angry that I'm not paying attention to it because nothing has changed. Ladies, what I'm trying to tell you is don't date me. It's not worth your time.
No, don't.
I'm serious. I'm not saying don't hook up with me. I'm just saying don't date me.
Oh, okay. So you want the milk without the cow? Is that basically it?
Well, I'm not saying I can get anything. I'm just saying that I'm not boyfriend material. I'm immature. I embrace my immaturity.
Wow. So this CD is going to be a reflection of your life, then.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Talk about my life.
It's a diary.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a comic diary. That's actually pretty cool. Comic diary.
Comic diary.
I like that.
Bitches and video games.
What's your favorite video game, since we're on the subject?
My favorite video game of all time, if we want to go old school, is Super Nintendo's Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
Oh, God, that's really
best game ever.
Was that like late 80s?
That was I think it was 80. No, I think it was like 90 or 91. That is the best game.
You have a Super Nintendo in your house still?
Not anymore.
Oh, okay.
But I had one. I haven't played the game in forever. And if anyone out there has a Super Nintendo that they want to give to me, know that I will be your best friend if you let me have your Super Nintendo.
Cool. So you're gigging out in next week a lot. You're going to be at Foxwoods on Monday or Tuesday,
Wednesday,
right? Wednesday.
September 5th. I'll be at Foxwoods with a couple of my good buddies, Eric Tynan and Kyle Plouffe. And that's going to be a good time. I'll also be at Foxwoods September 20th through the 23rd, performing with the legendary comedian Ralph Harris, and then I'll be headlining my own show that Sunday on the 23rd. So that's awesome. Going to be a good time. That's
I hope to catch one of those shows, especially at Nick's. That would be pretty cool to see you headlining.
Nick's is there's a Nick's thing happening.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Next week, right?
Next, it's September 7th and 8th.
All right, that's
Nick's
definitely
Comedy Stop in Cambridge, Central Square.
Oh, Central Square, not the one up. Okay.
No, not the one down. No,
not the
Central
one downtown.
Square, Cambridge. Okay. I'll be headlining that club. That's going to be a good time as well.
Very good. All right, we're going to take another quick one. Actually, we're going to take the first quick break, and we'll be back right after that with a couple of really great singers, Lisa and Louis Bello. And we are back, and right in the studio right now, we have Lisa Bello and her brother Louis Bello. They are both performers from the Boston area, and they have been blowing up across the country. As a matter of fact, Lisa, literally, you just came straight from the airport from L.A. Is that correct? What were you doing out in L.A. today?
A concert for John Legend. Univision put on a huge concert on Saturday, and I had some opportunities to meet with him and some other cool people and interesting people, and some great opportunities came from it. So I did like a 48-hour trip.
You were there and back in less than 48 hours.
Yes.
Wow.
And you're here now.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a trooper for you, people. I mean, dedication is what you need in this business, and it is like that a lot. And that's in addition to your regular job too.
Yes.
Yes, right. And Louis, you just came in from Orlando not too long. You want to put the mic right in front of you? There, we can get this better. That'll help.
There we go. That'll help you.
There you go. That'll help a lot.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, it's interesting that a performer. Like, there's the mic, Louis.
I'm getting tired of mic.
You know, you're so tired. We'll excuse that little faux pas. Yes.
Exactly.
And you just came from Orlando. What were you doing in Orlando?
I flew in last night, actually. I had two shows. I had a show at the Abbey, which is right in downtown Orlando, on Sunday, and then I was on a TV show called The Daily Buzz, which is it's shown in 175 cities across the East Coast. So I'm very excited. That's my biggest audience so far I performed at.
No, your biggest audience is right here.
Well, right here. I'm sorry, they're here.
I'm sure they have.
This is the next
tens of thousands,
biggest,
and we've got like tens of tens.
No,
not something like
big.
that.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Absolutely. So, I mean, you guys. Now, I know you're both teachers in public school system. So during the summer, I'm assuming you have a lot more time than during the school season.
It's a tease.
It's a tease. Yeah, I can imagine.
I'm a little more flexible because I'm allowed a little more lenient time.
Okay. You have more seniority? Is that
no, I just have. I'm the music teacher.
Lisa
so.
Oh, you're the music teacher. That works really
so
well for you, doesn't
it? helps. Yeah.
Hey, guys, I've got a music project I'm doing for school.
Some research.
Yeah, something like that.
I'll bring a couple kids with me.
Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, that must be really great for the kids to see you in action and inspiring them in such a way, because music and the arts have not been doing too well in public schools lately.
No,
so you have to inspire them any way you possibly can.
Absolutely. They're trying to bring them back. The Boston Public Schools are really trying to bring back the arts, and I have that ability to bring, like, guys like you come to my school, talk to the kids, different artists, my sister. So, yeah, the kids get to see a different world that they wouldn't normally see from, like, just a regular music teacher. So I feel like that's my thing I can give back,
That's great. Lisa, now, what do you teach specifically?
I'm a special education teacher. Specifically science, but I teach a little bit of everything.
Again, do you use your music your music interests in your everyday work as well?
I do. Kanye and Jay-Z are constant scientists in the class, and I tend to make up songs or rap songs using the same songs that they know on the radio to teach a lot of theories about cells and things like that, because I know when I was in high school, if I had learned something to music, I would have caught on a lot quicker.
All right, now being teachers now and knowing what you guys went through in school not too long ago, how much different has it changed in just that short period of time?
Technology has made... Man, I had a beeper in high school, okay? And that was enough of a distraction. However, the only way my friends could contact me is go to a payphone at their house. So they're at school too. Nobody's using, the payphone. Now it's like I have to collect all my kids' cell phones when they walk in the door. And my kids are 12, 13, and 14.
Isn't that amazing?
Or they can't function because the anxiety of thinking someone is Facebooking them or tweeting them. It's like a world of ADHD.
So you really have to work hard to get their attention.
Demand, too.
Very
demand
hard.
on kids nowadays, the demand on the teachers is like 10 times what it was when we were going to school.
Let me flip this now. How has your professional lives interacted with your musical lives?
Work ethic.
Yeah, it's giving me it's being with the kids that inspires me more to reach higher, because I see some of these kids that don't have much, and it just makes me want to push more so I can come back and help them someday in some way, even if it's just inspiring them to follow what they have to follow in life. So it's definitely pushed me.
What's the average age that you deal with?
I do K1 to 5th grade, so I got 5-year-olds all the way to 11-year-olds. So
that's a pretty impressionable.
So do you guys ever get like shunned a little bit when you say, "Hey, I'm a music teacher," and I'm a school teacher, and they're like, "Oh, you're out here in LA, you're out here in New York doing a show," or is it like, or do you get more added respect because you are a teacher?
I believe the respect. People are floored. When I was at the concert the other day, I was chilling with Snoop Dogg's uncle. If you ever watch any of the stuff that Snoop does, his uncle's an OG. It's like 70 years old on stage wilding out. And we were kind of kicking it, talking for a while, and once I brought that into the conversation, he not only respected it, but he said it made sense, because I think the way I interact with people, I'm a lot more humbled, and you know, I'm working with these kids every day. I don't think I'm anything special. I'm not uppity like a lot of these people in the business are. So I think it's respect.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of the business, now you guys have been doing this for quite a while.
Yes.
And now I know, because we had this interview several months ago, because you were in the spring issue of our Performer.com Models and Talent magazine.
Thank you again for that. That was an awesome
you're very welcome. This is
guys.
what we're here for, to help promote Boston artists, New England artists in general that are on the rise and doing great things and making our city look really, really good. And you two have done a very good job of making our city look really, really good. As a matter of fact, we'll go one step further. Lisa, last year at the 2011 Boston Music Awards, won for Best Female Vocalist. Congratulations, Lisa.
Thank you.
There we go. That's a pretty high honor, considering a town like Boston, which is a huge music town, and we've got Berklee College of Music up the street, and a lot of great schools that focus on the music and the arts. And Louis were nominated too.
I was nominated, yeah.
Yeah. What category were you nominated?
A male vocalist.
Male vocalist.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know, that shows the extent of the music background that these two have, and I understand your father was a major influence in that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he brought us up listening to every kind of record you can imagine, so he stuck that in our brains from the time we were born. So it's kind of inevitable we get into some aspect of the music business at some point, you know, especially with his love of music.
And how did that segue into you wanting to be a performer?
I would say that rubbed off on Louis, and I more didn't want anything to do with it. Louis was the performer, as was my sister. We have a sister in between the two of us, and I was just chilling. I wanted to play ice hockey, football, and softball, and I didn't want nothing to do with singing.
She's also a Hall of Fame softball player back in Corey College.
Really?
Just
Inducted into her college.
Put into the Hall of Fame.
So don't put a bat in your hand.
No.
She can crush it.
No.
If somebody's angry, you see Lisa coming with a bat, look out. All right. So you got into music, and what did you start doing first? You start singing, or I know you play the piano too, right?
Bit, yeah.
A little bit, right?
Yeah.
What did you just singing, or just what did you want to be a musician or a singer, a vocalist?
You know what it was? Is a vocalist, man. Back in the days when, you know, the tail end of New Edition and New Kids on the Block and all those groups in Boston were coming up and doing their thing, and so me and my friends used to, you know, when I was like 15, 16.
So you wanted to be like Jordan Knight? Is that basically it?
No, I wouldn't say I wanted to be like Jordan Knight.
I mean, you look good.
Johnny Gill, I think.
Johnny
Gill and Bobby.
You wanted to be a crooner.
Yeah,
That's
I wanted to be the
wanted.
real singers, you know. I wasn't into the dance and stuff like the new kids, but more like the singing aspect of like New Edition and the talent they had, the harmonies and things like that, and just the sound that Maurice put together for them. And it was just, it inspired us as kids. We were on the corner singing, trying to come up with harmonies, and I said, let me try this on my own.
Yeah, speaking of Maurice, Maurice he's referring to as Maurice Starr, who actually founded first New Edition, then New Kids on the Block. Okay. And oddly enough, Maurice is going to be doing a special show next week, September 8th, here in Boston. I think it's in Dorchester. He's going to be bringing back.
Yeah.
What's it again?
The Beano Boys?
I believe so.
Group he's got?
Well, he's got a whole bunch of older groups that he's bringing back together from the 80s and the 90s.
That's great.
9.9, a few of the other artists that were signed are going to be here performing, getting back together. So it's going to be like an old school reunion for people that were in the area at that time.
That's cool.
Larry Wu, had a lot of buzz lately about that. We had Salt and Pepper in town last weekend.
Well, they're going to be here this weekend. The same night they're going to be here.
So
Stevie B and Salt and Pepper are going to be in Brockton. walked in.
Yeah.
That same exact night. I know, we've got a lot going on. We've got a lot going
Where
on.
are we?
Well, you've been in L.A. and he's been in Orlando. That's where you are.
Time went back.
Boston's been cooking while you guys have been out there doing your thing, but that's okay. We'll save a seat for you. We're okay. You got a seat here in Boston all the time. As far as you're traveling now, how many gigs a week do you usually do during the summer versus during the school season?
Oh, I mean, the last 2 months I've been. We're in Vegas, Philly, New York, Orlando. She was out in LA, and then we're going back to LA next week. We got a few projects we're doing. So we travel a lot.
It triples the summer.
Yeah.
I mean, it triples in general if you think just weather-wise. I mean, everybody plays a lot more gigs.
Festivals.
Yeah, obviously because of our jobs, it becomes less in the year. But yeah, summer it triples.
Now, would you say that your jobs actually help your career in regards to having 2 months off in the summertime to do these?
Oh, absolutely.
Events?
It gives you a breather. You know what I mean? It's nothing like knowing that you have that time space. Yeah. You kind of fill it all up. You know what I mean? So you know you can get the most out of the
that's what you call a breather, right?
That's a breather, yeah. You get a breather from the kids, man.
I knew where you were going with that, but it sounds to me like you work even harder in the summertime than you do in the winter.
We're always working hard. It's funny because people say that. They're like, oh, well, is this your full-time thing doing music? And it is. I mean, it's like, because it's day and night. I mean, I just recorded my new album that's coming out. I've been in the studio in between the last 3 months, and Lisa's been in the studio, so it's like, come home from school, studio, come home from school, go to a show, come home from school, take care of my daughter. It's like in between is always music. So, helping the kids is awesome. But after school, it's down to business.
And you guys have to be up early during the school season, too.
And you guys are correcting homework, too?
I do that during school.
I don't do much correcting homework.
Music, I mean, what do you? I mean, I'm sure you do special projects. You probably have to grade.
Yeah, we bring our kids. I bring my kids. We got to the House of Blues last year for the Martin Luther King celebration, and I bring my choirs to these big events like City Hall and stuff to kind of expose them to big, shows like that. So that's my main thing is performance with my kids. So
you guys are like amazing. I'm serious. Like I'm sitting here thinking, I tell jokes. I'm a scumbag compared to you guys. You guys are unbelievable. She's in the Hall of Fame. You guys are teaching kids.
I put my engine wings away before I came in here. No, just kidding.
I quit.
I think Lamont's gonna be playing video games till
I play video games all day.
Hey man, I was just playing Call of Duty before here. So
all right, I don't feel so bad.
Yeah.
Well, what do you do to relax? That's a good question right there. I mean, Lisa, what do you do to relax?
Oh my God, what is that?
She gets tattoos.
I will tell you this: that is one of the things. When I'm sitting down or attempt to go to the movies, I feel like I should be doing something. Every time I go to the movies or sit on the couch, about 5 minutes goes by and I think I'm wasting time. It's awful. My relaxing.
I feel guilty.
I feel awful. I feel like I could be doing something. So tattoos would be my relaxing time.
Yeah, that's why. How many hours does it take usually for your average tattoo?
For a big piece, about 5 to 6 hours.
So you just sit there and relax. That's your quiet time, sort of.
My quiet time.
That's your quiet.
Did I notice Stevie Wonder? Is that Stevie? I thought I saw that.
He can't see you, but he says hi.
He can't see me, but he knows I'm here.
What do you do, Louis, mostly?
Mostly, when I'm not doing music, I'm with my daughter. So hanging out with her, taking her to cheerleading, and she's playing Pop Warner football now. She's actually playing football, so I got to give it up to her. She's getting tired. There's a lot of double sessions.
Is she now?
She's 9.
9.
Yeah.
So you love being a dad, and that's your love at this point.
That's my love, man.
That's your free time.
Come home between music, and that's showing her how to try to be a good person in life.
And how to Dougie.
Yeah, and how to Dougie.
I'd like to see that. Quick question now: have you guys done anything together, duets, or what have you done together?
Yeah.
I know you've gigged together.
We gigged together a lot.
Recorded anything?
Musically, not in
a long time. About a long time
ago. We did
ago.
Get Twisted, but I'd say it'd be over 5 years. When I was getting out of college.
Get Twisted record we did was on my second album. We did. I had Lisa on there, and that was like our big.
But years ago, we did a collab album.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Was that the one in the Irish pub?
That was Get Twisted.
Yeah,
in the Irish pub. Yeah.
That was a pretty funny video.
That was funny.
Can you guys sing a little bit for us, real quick? I don't know if.
We're putting him on the spot. Are we doing?
Everyone get twisted, la 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 la. That's a song.
You can hear that soulfulness in her voice.
No, together, guys. I didn't hear you guys.
Louis doesn't know the song.
I got it. Just coming. I can't sleep at night, toss and turn, listening for the telephone. But when I get my call, I'm all choked up. Can't believe you called my home. As a matter of fact, it blows my mind you would even talk to me. A girl like you is like a dream come true, a real life fantasy.
No matter what your friends try to tell you, we were meant to fall in love, and we could be together any time of weather. It's like that, it's like that.
Every little step I
Why'd you have to not do my key, Louis?
Very good, guys.
You guys didn't see this, but I was doing the Running Man the whole time. The whole time they were saying I was doing the Running Man.
Didn't you feel the floor shaking? I did. All right.
Because you were doing old school. Everybody's
For the
old
record,
school.
that wasn't get twisted.
No, that was not. That was.
You know, it's really cool because
Brown, right?
you ever notice like every 20 years something comes back. Back in the I think it was like the 80s when actually the 70s when they did American Graffiti, and they went kind of back into the late 50s, and then you have like this nostalgic thing going on, because what actually happens is people that grew up during that time, eventually they get into the entertainment business and they're in the position to sign off on projects, and they remember their youth. So a lot of stuff like that now is coming back, because you'll see projects that are very retro. And I like to see that. That's why they're probably doing the Stevie B and Salt and Pepper show this weekend, and Maurice Starr is coming back, because stuff like that comes back full circle sometimes, which is great, because a lot of kids nowadays do not know that music.
Or appreciate it.
Well, you see, that's just it. A lot of it's electronic now and stuff like that. And it's nice to hear old, I'm not going to say old-fashioned, but good, solid music with real instruments and
not made on a
vocals.
laptop.
Yes.
Well, you know, exactly. The 90s you still had all, the 90s brought back the whole dancing and choreography and singing and the R&B stuff, and it brought it back. It was the entertainment factor. The 80s was just club music, and 90s brought back that, and then
the early 90s.
Yeah. And then as the late 90s came in, you had the boy bands singing the popcorn stuff, and so I think now everybody's trying to get back to that. Some people are trying to get back to like actually performing a show, like putting a show on, entertaining people.
Yeah.
It's hard, because you got David Guetta doing, concerts where he's just mixing stuff to, 100,000 people in a stadium.
Making $100,000.
Yeah, I've got nothing against DJs specifically, but when I think they're making more money than true artists, I do have a problem with it, because they're not really musicians in the sense that we've known musicians in the past.
It's the new. They're morphed into they're the new musician, quote unquote.
Why do you think that happened?
They're entertainers.
They're entertainers. They are performers. I'm not going to take that away from them.
It happened because it's one of the smartest things you could do to capitalize on, your position. You can sing your music and play your own music, and you're a one-man show. I mean, for them, if I was a DJ, that's amazing. But it's a weird turn.
The smart marketers, the ones who make it, I give it to them.
I just don't see much entertainment value of seeing somebody on a stage pushing a button on a computer.
Or like Paris Hilton in Brazil. That's why a lot of DJs just flipped about it when they saw Paris Hilton.
Yeah, they did.
People paid like $500 to see her. She had a pre-mixed track, basically.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of sad when you think of it. And I'm glad that Louis is out there, teaching these kids about real music, and hopefully we can keep that alive, because if somebody has a chance to see a real live show versus a DJ, you don't know what you got to check it out,
right?
It'll say like, why am I going to go back to this when I can see that?
Absolutely. Even morphing it together. I love when the DJs bring the live band and you got a DJ scratching and the live band and playing samples. I mean, morphing it all together, I think just gives you that. I'm all about the show. Gotta have a show.
And I'm not going to blame hip hop for that, but that started the trend of having just DJs only and recorded music, and it was easier to produce. And that's why a lot of promoters said, okay, we don't need a full band. We just have a DJ on stage, throw people on there, we're going to make a lot of money. So they get a little bit lazy, but now they're coming back, which is the best thing. I think it's really important for live shows to keep going, keep the musicians employed, keep music, theory, everything out there.
Authentic.
Absolutely.
Yes, authentic, exactly. What are your future plans, guys?
Future plans, when we head out to LA.
Retire, have a nice home.
That's right. You got a special project you're going to
very special
LA
project
for next
week.
We're not going to talk about it right now. We're going to have you back later on. You can talk about that project later.
Project, but no, we're doing some cool things in the next couple of weeks, and then hopefully by November, we don't have too many shows booked in Boston for the next 2 months, but we're going to be traveling a lot. But when we do have a show in Boston, we'll let you guys know, and everybody listening can come out and
very good.
Enjoy.
Very good. Lisa, Louis, thank you very much for dropping by. We hope you can drop by again after you come back from LA and talk all about that.
Yes.
We'll be right back after this brief message.
Thank you.
And we are back. I want to say once again thank you to Lisa and Louis Bello for dropping by. Now we have a aesthetically good-looking crowd again in the studio. We have Miss Massachusetts USA 2011, Alida Diangona, We have Miss Central Massachusetts USA 2012, Miss Sarah Kidd, and we have Miss Eva Nicole, who owns Exclusives Boutique in Worcester, and she's also the director of the Miss Central Massachusetts pageant, USA pageant, excuse me. We have to clarify that all the time in this day and age. We get so many different pageants that we have to keep track. We have Miss USA, we have Miss America, we have Miss Earth. Is there a Miss World too or something?
There is Miss World.
There's a Miss World too. Okay,
Yeah.
Is there a Miss? Oh, okay. We have Miss Universe is Miss USA system, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's owned by Donald
But just
Trump.
a correction. Miss Central Massachusetts is not Miss No USA.
Oh, okay. It's not okay. I made that mistake. Then I apologize. Okay.
I missed the Dorchester, 1995, 1998. 3 straight W's. Beat that, ladies.
Yeah, I think Alita already has done that and more. Alita, so you got your crown in actually 2010, right? But was it November 2010 when you got your crown?
That's right. Yep,
Yeah,
November 2010.
Okay. So why, if it's in 2010, are you 2011?
I guess they just like to give you a couple extra months. They just they want to give you your reign for an entire year. So
That's good. I mean, you should have it for an entire year. I'm hoping anyway. And so after you, do you have to go in another pageant first before going to the Massachusetts one?
you don't for Massachusetts. You can just go right into that. But it is great what Eva did just leading up to that, getting the girls ready by doing the Miss Central Mass. So you can do that for the USA system. For America, you do have to do a preliminary.
Okay, so you have to do some preliminary before you get to the state level.
Yes.
For the Miss America. Actually, I think we're going to have Miss New Hampshire from the Miss America system in a few weeks. Now, after you became Miss Massachusetts USA 2011, how much time was there between that and the national pageant later on the next year?
So I went in June of 2011 to compete, and I was in Vegas for 1 month.
One whole month.
A whole month.
Now,
yeah.
during that month, obviously the pageant is one night, but
Right.
during that whole month, what did you do for 1 whole month?
Oh, I don't know. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? No, we did so much stuff. We did kind of appearances all throughout the Vegas Strip. I mean, you name it, we did it. We maybe slept 4 hours throughout that whole time. So it was really, really busy. Then they do the preliminary competition. We had a lot of photo shoots. I mean, it's an awesome opportunity. You get 50 gorgeous ladies from all around the country.
Very true.
Obviously, Donald Trump's going to take advantage of that when he can.
So did they assign you, did you kind of like form cliques or like, how did that all work? I mean, you can tell a little bit of dirt, that's okay. I mean, how did you relate to the other ladies when you were in the system?
I think there's a lot of different personalities. I mean, that's going to be at play. Everyone's there wanting to compete, trying to do their best. So, of course, as you can imagine, conflicts arise. There's a lot of, little tensions. But overall, like, I don't know, our year was pretty awesome. Like, you only spent a month with those girls. So, for me, I just tried to make the best of every opportunity. And, we kind of formed little cliques here and there. And every day you went on different little tours with different girls, so you got to know everyone.
And how many of those young ladies are you still in touch with now?
I'm in touch with a lot of the East Coast girls just because of, proximity. I get to see them often. So.
That actually works pretty well because in New England, everyone is very close, aren't they?
Exactly.
Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, all within a stone's throw practically.
Right.
And yeah, you do share a common bond being in the Northeast and the New England area. Whereas if you're in Miss Montana, you're probably like at least several hundred miles away from the next person, so you probably can't form that strong bond with like a lot of the others probably do. So Sarah, you just recently won Miss Central Massachusetts. See, I got it right this time, Eva. And how was that for you? You're only 19.
Yeah.
And you go to college right now.
Yeah.
What are you studying in college?
I'm doing dental hygiene. I'll be a senior starting next week.
Next
So,
week.
yeah.
The last year of school. Isn't that nice?
Last first day.
The last first. Okay, that's good. And what made you decide to get into the Miss Central Massachusetts pageant?
Well, I think it was something that was good.
You can keep talking. You just need the mic a little closer.
It was good practice for me because I've competed at Miss Massachusetts twice, and I never took home a crown. So I wanted to do something on a smaller level that would help me enhance, my stage presence and just be like a practice for Miss Massachusetts and help me get ready for that.
And how many months or weeks did you plan on, did you work on this competition?
Probably about 2 months before I started, cleaning up the way that I was eating and exercising and just making sure I had all of the little bits put together.
Is that a key thing? I mean, once you say I'm going to be in this pageant, you just kind of go into this certain mode, work, training, just like a prize fighter. I've got this big fight coming up, so now you get this new regimen. And did you get up at the same time every day and do the same thing, or how did that work for you?
Well, I never realized before pageants how hard it is and how much you need to put into it. You kind of don't realize that it's like a sport. You have to prepare months ahead of time. You have to get your body ready. And I was always an athlete my whole life, and I'm in the best shape now than I ever was. If I could go back, I would probably kick my own butt.
Well, that's interesting.
So.
And Alita, did you do the same thing? Once you said, I'm going to be in Miss Massachusetts pageant, did you just kick it into high gear, or just show up? What was it like for you?
No, I mean, you always want to be in the best shape of your life. So, and I think for me, I just kind of took it as I got into pageant mode, but from here on out, I just stayed, you always want to look your best. So you definitely want to kick it up a gear because you're going to be in front of potentially thousands of people. You obviously want to look your best.
Now, I know, Sarah, you are a Maggie model. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've had some runway experience. Alita, did you have any runway experience or anything like that before the pageant?
Yep, I've done some runway shows in Boston back when I was in college, kind of helped pay off some of my college loans. So that was easy way, but I've done more print.
So in essence, you did have a little bit of training for the situation beforehand. Did you do any additional training? I'm not talking about physical training, but any additional training like walking or any posing or anything like that? Anything?
Yes, I had a runway coach for Mass, and then when we went out to Miss USA, the Miss Universe organization actually provided a runway coach for us there.
That's good. Did they provide any other coaches, like for instance, how to be spontaneous on stage or anything like that? I mean, on that level, no, that's
all you.
That's all personality. That's all you. Well, take note, ladies. If you want to be in that type of a situation, you have to have some personality and some drive. Obviously, if you're scared to death to be in front of an audience, not the place for you. How did you feel, Sarah, when you were in front of the audience? It was at the Mechanics Hall in Worcester, right? And that was back in June, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. July? Was it July? Okay, July. I apologize. It was early July, though, wasn't it? Yes. Okay. Mid-July. Okay. And so you're up there in front of all these people. Did you have any nerves at all, or was it just I'm here, I'm having fun?
No, I love being on stage. I kind of live for it. That's my thing for me. So when I'm up there, I just want to show everyone all my hard work and just exude the confidence that I feel inside. So
that's cool. Now I know that the Miss USA system does not have the talent portion, correct? Like Miss America does. Do you find that much easier, or do you have any talents that you would love to show off? Because I know Alita is into music a lot. Singer. You play the trumpet even?
I did when I was actually all the way through college. I played the trumpet and piano, and then I kind of combined all of those and decided to DJ.
Yes, she's a DJ now. And actually, I caught you. What was it? Maybe about 3 months ago. I was at Biblos Lounge.
Oh yeah.
Yes, she was at Biblos Lounge in Worcester, which, by the way, was a beautiful club. It's right in the middle of the train station there. But it's a beautiful complex. They fixed up really nice. And by the way, Boston people, you can park there at night for $1.
Well, that's the best part about it.
$1. I was like, what year is this? $1 for parking in a downtown city, which was amazing. And yes, you were there, and you were spinning for it was our release party, I believe, for the spring issue, which Alita was there. So she wasn't part of the spring issue, but Alita was there, and we had Eva there, and her exclusive boutique was in the spring issue. So how long have you been DJing?
So my boyfriend actually taught me how to DJ since I met him in 2008. So now we DJ together. He was going out to clubs all the time, so I was like, hey.
And we might as well segue and say who your boyfriend is. Randy, her boyfriend, was on the Real World San Diego. And is Randy out there? You can say hello in the mic, Randy. Say hello to everybody out there. Say hello. Oh, the mic isn't even on. There you go. We'll try one more time.
Okay, how's it going?
That's very good, Randy. How you doing? So you taught this girl how to DJ. How easy was it to teach her how to DJ? I want to know this.
Well, I think having a musical background really helps. It takes away a lot of the initial shock of getting everything together. And
so her musical background was a big plus.
Yeah, and she knows what the ladies want to dance to. It isn't that what DJing is all about?
That is exactly. we were talking about DJs before, but you're a club DJ, and club DJs. I mean, I used to be a club DJ too. When you see them you react to the choices that you make. That's a great high.
Oh, it is.
It is a really great. And you're like, I made that happen, by the selection that I chose. I like to say this way. You're in a club situation, you don't have as many opportunities to play slow jams or mellow music. But when I used to play out like college functions and school dances, and you play that slow stuff, and you're like, how many babies did I make along the way? You're like, I spurred that romantic interest and stuff like that. I'm partially responsible for a lot of kids out there, I'm sure. But that's another story altogether. But yeah, you have that kind of power, is what I'm trying to say. You can basically create a mode, like a soundtrack to somebody's life as a DJ. Like, for instance, somebody just meets somebody there at that moment, you play the right song, and that music actually has a major influence of one of the things girlfriends always ask their boyfriends, what song was playing when we did something or other. And that's where you come in as a DJ, and it's like, yeah, I remember that song, yeah. And then people, they attach that to major events in their life. Music is very, very powerful, and people just don't realize that. It's very subliminal, but it's there all the time. Now, Sarah, do you have any special talents or gifts?
No, like I said, I was always an athlete, so I spent
that's a talent and a gift, of course.
Yeah,
it is.
I played basketball, and I was actually a goalie for soccer, so I used to eat mud and grass, and now I'm a beauty queen.
Well, soccer is one of those sports that really keeps you in shape. Not that I would know or Lamont would know, but
bring me in here.
Yeah, we play a lot of soccer. We'd be good goalies, though.
All this happened, I play basketball, so
Okay. Well,
I'm just lazy now.
Okay. But so that really kept you in shape, soccer. And actually now I do believe that soccer really is starting to become popular now in this country. Whereas before it's kind of like, soccer, whatever. But now we get the New England Revolution. They're starting to become very popular. And I think maybe because we live in the Northeast and we have a very ethnically based community. And the Olympics didn't hurt. The girls won the gold medal this year at the Olympics, and they also competed in the finals for the World Cup. So that's pretty good. The men didn't do quite as well, but hey, at least something's going on, and people are starting to become more aware. Would you suggest soccer as a great way to train for beauty pageants?
I think it's a different kind of training, because for soccer it was mostly about running long distances, and it wasn't so much on focusing on where on my body do I need to tone this little spot. Do I need to make my arms a little bit tighter, so.
Okay, so it's just good aerobic exercise.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're getting ready for the pageant in November that Alita has already been to. Alita, do you have any suggestions for her and pointers, maybe?
Look at her. She's gorgeous.
Yes, she
is.
She's
got it all on lock.
But there will be other girls that are gorgeous too. And is there some kind of little thing I say, okay, you know what, this might be a good thing for you to do to separate yourself from the rest of them? Or what would you suggest would be the best way to separate yourself?
Well, just staying out of your own mind, because a lot of girls like to play games and do little things to, whether it's, cut the strap on your shoe. Just don't let it get
really?
you.
Are they that bad? That seems a little bit extreme to me.
Never know.
Playing a mind game like, where did that freckle come from? Or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, something to make you focus on something that maybe you shouldn't be focusing on. Was that there yesterday or something like that? That's the kind of mind games I would assume would happen. Which is, okay, you got to be strong emotionally and mentally to overcome that. But I'm assuming that that probably happens very subtly and not very much in the open. Do the judges or the overseers make note of that when they see things like that, do you think?
The judges don't see it.
Well, I'm not saying the judges. I'm saying about the pageant directors or anything else.
The directors try to stay out from behind the scenes as much as possible. So you kind of have to just watch your own back. But
so you're basically on your own in that situation each and every time. Pretty much. Well, if you're a strong individual, then you can overcome it. And obviously you did. And hopefully Sarah will be there sitting in that seat next year. Okay, saying I was Miss Massachusetts USA 2013 it would be then, right? Wouldn't it? Okay, that's good. So the Miss Central Massachusetts pageant was created by Miss Eva Nicole, who's also here. Eva, can you put the mic a little closer to you so we can get a little... There you go. And how long have you been doing that pageant, Eva?
Actually, we started 3 years ago. Alita was there. She was my first judge. And I actually got inspired through Miss Boston. And my best friend and I, we actually did it. And I used to do pageants when I was very little girl. I did the Miss American Princess pageant when I was 7 years old. So I always always had it in me. So when I saw Miss Boston, I was like, wow, I could do this too. And, you know, just create a platform for young girls that, ladies, I should say, that are trying to get into the industry and modeling and into fashion and the pageant world. And I just started building it. And after the second year, after consulting with Alita, we could actually make it like a preliminary to Miss Massachusetts, and, you know, because it's like a lower fee type of thing. And we actually, eventually, our goal would be like to make Massachusetts a regional state. So that's what I really want to do, and make everyone go through my pageant first.
Well, what states are regional now? I'm just curious.
Like big pageant states, California, Texas.
Texas, of course.
So they all have like local pageants.
Is it based on size or population? Because California's a huge state and Texas is a huge state, but they're also very populous states.
I think it's just based off of what the director wants.
Yes, each state, or generally each state, has their own director. Some directors do a couple states, but it's basically up to the director's discretion.
I say, because Massachusetts does have a lot of people, and a lot of people out west don't probably feel like they're part of the Boston market.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when I was like trying to find like the name for the pageant, and I did my research, and Central Massachusetts has over 70 towns surrounding that whole area. So it's a really big section of
Yeah, 70 towns is quite a big chunk.
So
so if it was going to be a regional system, then we'd probably have one east and then central and then west. Does that probably sound logical?
Eventually in the future, you know, if Miss Massachusetts USA is hearing in, hey, let's do it.
Now, you also have a boutique in Worcester called Exclusives Music Meets Fashion. Explain that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess I started about a year and a half ago. And as you know, my boyfriend, he's in the music industry and I'm in the fashion industry, and we both wanted to bring like the two industries together, and we created this like hip, funky, fresh store where we have a DJ booth and a runway, and we also feature music and CDs, records, fashion for ladies and men. But the twist to it is that we actually have consignment for local artists and local designers.
Excellent. All right, we'll be back with Eva in just a second. We're going to say goodbye to the lovely young ladies here. And we're back again. Once again, we dragged her butt down here from New Hampshire one more time, Miss Jessica Graff. And now we have also Miss Shauna Lagatos in the house. Shauna's been a member of the Performer family for quite a few months now. Shauna is a model, and she's also a hairstylist and makeup artist. And she's been doing the hairstyling and makeup for a lot of our shoots the past few months for not only Performer.com, Models and Talent Magazine, but for several of them at Candela Magazine. And we're going to be doing a shoot for Original Living Magazine this weekend with, again, Jessica, which is kind of cool. And actually, to the two of them yesterday, we were down in Mohegan Sun yesterday, actually the Mohegan Sun Country Club, I should clarify that, for a special golfing event called the Links and Laces event. We did talk about that last week very briefly, and you guys were there with, I think it was like 25 other young ladies. It was a golf tournament, but you were actually kind of competing. It was kind of like a pageant, sort of. And you were competing for special prizes, basically a trip to Las Vegas and a few other nice little amenities. And it was a very long affair of that yesterday. You started off actually Sunday night with a party at Mohegan Sun, correct?
Pool party, right?
Yeah, it was. And explain that. I heard the food at that pool party was pretty incredible. Lobster and all this other stuff.
Yeah, we didn't eat. We actually had McDonald's before we went to the event, not knowing that there was going to be food. So by the time we got there, we didn't enjoy any of the catering. But our McDonald's dinner was awesome. Yeah. We washed it down with champagne. So yeah, it was great.
Champagne, lobster. They certainly treated you well, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
That's good to hear. Now, so you woke up the next day, you went up to the country club. What were your first thoughts when you had to, like, you got the cute golf outfits? What were your first thoughts like when you saw it?
I liked them. I thought they were cute. I didn't think they were too open. I thought they did very well. well.
Yeah, no, they're
classy.
tasteful. They're very tasteful. I mean, they're cute, tasteful. I mean, I wouldn't say they were too revealing at all. I mean, it's just right. It's just right. They don't want. They want it to be classy but still sexy. Just like us, sexy with class. That's pretty much it. So you were stationed at a hole in the golf course. You were basically hostesses.
Yes.
And the guys would come up in their golf carts, and you would serve them some drinks and a little banter here and there and whatnot. So the goal was be friendly, make friends, do some networking, which you apparently did very, very well.
Yes,
and of course we know that because the outcome was you both won. They had four. That's right. They both won. That shows you that networking and being your personality makes. Of course, they're gorgeous, but your personality is what sets you apart, especially in this business. And of course, networking is very important in this business. I mean, you could be the most gorgeous girl in the world, but if you don't open up your mouth, no one's going to talk to you.
I want to make that clear that I made that prediction Sunday night that they would both win.
Yes, you did.
Well, I made that prediction like weeks ago.
No, you did not. You were not into it. You were a little, kind of iffy about it. I made that hardcore prediction. I should have probably.
Well, I don't think anybody wants to be overconfident because that doesn't look good.
Absolutely.
But you can say, hey, I think I've got a good chance here, and I'm gonna behave like I do have a good chance. If you don't say you have a chance, you're kind of defeating yourself. You know what I mean? Which is not a good thing.
We went and said that. We got to do that.
We also went in not knowing how many girls there were going to be. And
That's true.
So we had no idea how many girls we were going to be up against. And I mean, we went in, two of three of us ended up winning, but we went in with 3 girls all together, and we had a great support group. And we had each other's back. So not only were we networking for ourselves, we were also networking for each other.
That's right. So you kind of worked as a team, didn't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're a great team.
That actually is a big plus when you know somebody ahead of time. And you can support each other. You got each other's backs, essentially.
Exactly.
Which is a great thing. Now, you're both going to be going to Las Vegas together.
Yep.
And this is going to be in April, I believe, of next year, correct?
Yeah.
Pray for you? I'm going to be praying for Las Vegas, not for you.
Yeah,
Vegas is the ones we need to pray for. Pray for
Yeah.
Vegas. Yes, we know this. Especially because your first time, but you've been there before,
Yeah,
right?
I've been there twice. Yes.
You were there for hair
show.
shows.
Yeah.
And when you do these hair shows, I'm assuming how much of that time how much of your time is consumed? Well, how much of your time is consumed at the hair show versus going out and seeing the sights and whatnot?
Well, when I was there, we did mainly, we did the events, which was really fun, but then we'd go into classes, and we would do, we'd be there from 9 to 5, and then after 5, we'd be able to go out. But there'd be, parties afterwards, too. Yeah. It's really fun, though. It's good. We still got to figure out the taste of Vegas. It's good.
And I do believe that for the next one, though, they told you you're going to be working hard.
Busy, yeah.
We'll find time to burn the city down.
I'm sure.
Burn the city
Yes,
down?
we will.
For me.
Boy, she's really anticipating a
I
good time.
can't wait. It's going to be a great time.
It sounds to me like it's going to be The Hangover, the female edition.
Absolutely.
Female edition Hangover with Donald Goddess and Jessica Grab.
We got to meet a bunch of the Playboy Playmates, too, who will also be at the event in Las Vegas. And they said the same thing. Vegas is going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah, just to clarify, Links and Laces used to be known as Playboy Golf, but they're rebranding it now. So from now on, it's going to be called Links and Laces. Don't forget to check out PerformerRadio.com for the rebroadcast of this show. And on PerformerTV.com, you will be able to see the video of this show later on in the week. So until next week at 9 p.m. with Shay Rose, we're going to wish everyone a great week. And good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.